Hello, this is Sotheby's Cellars. I am Ellie Rodriguez, Retail Sales Director for Sotheby's Wine, and I am thrilled today to welcome Prince Robert of Luxembourg, President of Domaine Clarence Dillon, and the fourth generation of the Dillon family to manage Château Brion and the legendary La Mission Brion in Bordeaux.
Thank you for having me here. It's always nice to be back in Sotheby's and being surrounded by all these extraordinary bottles of wine that you have in the cellar.
We're very excited to announce that on the evening of October 19th, Sotheby's Wine will host an auction of wines from the cellars of Château La Mission Brion, one of the most famous legendary chateaux of Bordeaux. The sale will be 270 lots of vintages ranging close to a century, beginning in 1916, so 100 years back, all the way through the 2012 vintage. Prince Robert, what do you see when you look back on that sort of span of vintages at La Mission Brion?
For me, it's first of all, it's a reflection of history. But what I see in these bottles, in this sale, is a number of old friends, a number of legends, a number of bottles that I've never had the opportunity of tasting and probably never will. Because they're so rare.
Also, Prince Robert, La Mission Brion isn't just one wine. The property, the terroir, produces a number of different wines. Can you tell us a bit about those?
We used to have a white wine called La Ville Brion. We produce only about 500 cases, and since 2009 we've renamed that white wine La Mission Brion Blanc. Tiny production, and then we have a second wine called La Clarté, which in actual fact is the second wine of both Brion and La Mission.
As a side note, the absolute perfect pairing for sushi. I've tried it many, many times.
I can understand that because it has this this balance, like actually an old Burgundy, for example.
Château Brion and Château La Mission Brion obviously share so much in common. What are the differences that you see in Brion versus La Mission, and where does La Mission stand clearly apart from Brion when you taste it in the glass?
It's a real study in the difference of terroir. But here, yes, you have the same winemaking team responsible for making the wines of both estates. The facilities are totally separate, always have been, and yet the wines are very different year in, year out. And it's really an expression of this tapestry, if you will, the patchwork of soils and blends that we create every year.
I want to thank you on behalf of Sotheby's. The catalog PDF will be published to Sotheby's.com in September, and we look forward to your participation. Visit us here in New York in the sales room. Any questions whatsoever, please visit Sotheby's.com or give us a call here in New York. Cheers.
La Mission and
La
de Sotheby's.
Mission. Thank
Cheers.
you.